I made this video to explain quantum mechanics on some level to persons who conjecture, in other words, they think about certain things in science and are trying to put them into perspective and are having a difficult time doing so. Namely, individuals who have not been in school for too much time outside high school and are thinking about getting back into the fields of science, mathematics, things that they should have been doing all along. So what I want to address is this notion of extraterrestrial biological entities, some would refer to as aliens. A concept, a subject, topic that has been discussed since time immemorial. And the idea that some people have is that there is no proof that aliens exist. There's plenty of proof that aliens exist. First of all, if you visit the CIA.gov website, they tell you that there have been UFOs that have been sighted, that have been seen, that have been studied, that have been analyzed. It's right there for you to read if you go to CIA.gov and search UFOs. You can clearly read the evidence, but if you don't do that, then you're just somebody that plays online applications at Facebook, video games. You're an adult and you're playing children's games, and you sit on the sidelines and you say there's no proof, there's no proof. There's plenty of proof that these things exist. Look at the UFO documentaries from NASA, the National Aeronautic and Space Administration. Check out NASA's website. Check out NASA videos of UFOs. Who do you think's navigating those UFOs? Do you think humans are navigating those UFOs that fly at thousands of miles per hour, thousands of kilometers per hour, and turn at 90-degree angles? We haven't created anything like that as humans, so it's obvious that EBEs are advanced and have made it to our galaxy from another distant galaxy. There's plenty of proof. Who do you think built the pyramids? Humans didn't build the pyramids by themselves. There's no way they could have possibly done that. If you did the research, if you looked into the matter, you would realize that it's just not possible. It doesn't add up, and pretty much everybody in the world knows that. So you don't need to really think to yourself that there isn't proof. Don't say there's no proof, because there is plenty of proof. If you're somebody who claims to be open-minded, then be honest with yourself and just accept the fact that you're not as high and mighty as you think you are, that you're a life form in this universe of many other life forms outside your own planet. You can see the proof, you can see the evidence. You know, there are these people that sit around and they're like, I need to see it, I need to see it, people see it all the time. There are more UFO sightings in Washington State than anywhere else on planet Earth. This is a known fact. This is a fact. These are UFOs. People see them. They see orbs. They see ships. They see starships. They're crafts from other systems, from outside of our galaxy, from outside of perhaps even our known universe, but they're not from Earth, and they're advanced spacecrafts, and people see them. Energy that is not from Earth. Orbs of energy that are not of this planet. They come from somewhere else, and they enter our Earth's atmosphere, and these are not just simply balls of energy. These are extraterrestrial, biological entities, some kind of biotechnologically advanced life forms, and people have seen them. They've been studied. What do you think Area 51's for? What do you think these different secret Air Force bases are for? Why do you think Washington State has so many military bases? There's no war with Japan. The war with Japan ended decades ago. Japan is no threat to the United States. So why do you think there are all these Air Force bases and secret Air Force bases in the state of Washington? To prevent who from attacking? The United States. And we don't even need all those Air Force bases to prevent an attack against the West Coast anyway. So those bases obviously exist for other reasons. So when you look into the realm of science, defense science, and intelligence, defense, scientific research, intelligence, and analysis, you'll find that there's plenty of evidence that UFOs are in existence. They exist. They're around us. They're among us. That the planet has been visited for eons, for billions of years by advanced EBEs, extraterrestrial, biological entities that are not from Earth, that are not originally from Earth, that are not indigenous to Earth. They've been here. Look at the pyramids. The pyramids tell you there are pictures of EBEs. They're humanoid. They're aliens. Most people have seen these. What more proof do you want? So, Michio Michio Kaku, one of the world's leading physicists, and he's a theoretical physicist who is part of the alumni at both UC Berkeley and Harvard University. He talks about the fish analogy. He uses this fish analogy. And there's a book called Flatlanders, A Romance of Many Dimensions. You can look it up. There's a Wikipedia article, and you can clearly see. Oh, I'm sorry. It's flat land, wherein there is the species or the race known as the Flatlanders. The entire title is Flatland, A Romance of Many Dimensions, and it says that it is an 1884 satirical novella by the English schoolmaster Edwin Abbott. So what this story goes on to discuss are these creatures, these entities that live in two dimensions. They're flat. The point is that they don't know of anything that goes on outside of their two-dimensional realm. They're flat, so they're flat. They don't know about the third dimension or the fourth or the fifth. Well, the same is true of humans. Humans are, some of them are very, very much like that of fish and ants. They don't know what's outside the third dimension, in the fourth dimension, fifth dimension, time and hyperspace. You can't see it. You can't necessarily see into different parts of time and hyperspace. But they exist. It exists. And so that's the point, is that when these different persons, when these different people say, oh, there's no proof, there's plenty of proof. Your perception as a human of what is extraterrestrial is not necessarily accurate. So when you make this statement that you need proof, you need to be able to touch it, it needs to be able to be, it's right in front of you. If you want to talk about tangible, it's right in front of you. It's been around you. Do the math. Mathematically speaking, do you really think that all these different people, all these different thousands of people from across the globe would say that they've been abducted, and they would make up these stories, and they would somehow mathematically thousands of times over and over again correlate and turn out to be the same story? You think it's some kind of mass hallucination? Come on, man. I mean, really seriously? Do you really think that people are just making up this story about being abducted by aliens? Do you think that these different scientists who have top secret security clearances are all in collusion, and when they've been abducted, or school teachers, or house mothers, or diplomats, different people in the military, different important people, do you think that these people would risk their careers to make up some story about being abducted? Obviously, they've been picked out of the water, just as we take fish out of the water. It's the same principle that applies, and that is exactly what Michio Kaku is talking about. Moscow has a huge presence of extraterrestrial biological entities, aircraft, spacecraft, UFOs, as does Washington State. The Mexican government, the government of Mexico, has released information to the public of UFOs that we know humans could not have possibly developed, flying at incredible rates of speed that we cannot achieve. So who's piloting those aircraft? What entities are piloting those starcraft? What more evidence do you want? That's your proof. If you're not observing that kind of information, that doesn't mean that the proof doesn't exist. It just means that you're playing Farmville, playing Bedazzled, playing these different games on the internet. You're listening to banter, idle chatter. You're involved in interference and nonsense, and you're not paying attention. You're not focused. The proof is all around you.